Hello world and welcome back to the bench. Tonight we look at the Retro Rewind C64 Diag and the C64 C128 Diag harness. It has instructions online, I'm sure, but we're just going to plug some things in and see what happens because that is actually more fun. We are going to start with the TSA Commodore 64 that Ryan brought in that worked fine. It was just one of those that he got it in a deal, brought it down to me, we plugged it in, boom, hooray, it worked. We have the Diag cart, we have a Diag for the user port, we've got the Diag here. For the cassette, we've got the keyboard Diag and some cables and some plugins for, I guess, the serial port? Yeah, the serial port. So let's get these put onto this beautiful machine and then power things up and see what it does on the monitor. So we'll go from there. But give me a second to get everything plugged in. I don't know what to do with the Diag for the keyboard, but we'll just hold on to that. All right, let's change some views. All right, big monitor, small keyboard here. None of the cables are hooked up. Oh, I could put the serial port in. Let's look what that looks like. All right, so I got a lot of things plugged in the back. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, you can kind of see all of them there. Let's turn this on. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All right, zero package, stack, screen RAM, doing some testing. Now, I don't have all these little guys plugged in, so I think I'm definitely going to get some errors through here. Now it's doing RAM test 2 while that's running. Little what? Hikaru Martin House Brewing Imperial Stout. Joining me on the bench tonight. Ooh, that's strong. All right. Oh, okay. Looks like a lot of okays. Oh, a sound test too. And a little explosion there at the end. Okay. Is it now just repeating? I think it's on repeat. Yeah, okay, count 1, and I have a feeling it goes to count 2 after this, and it just runs over and over. Let's plug in some cable. Well, let's let that finish. So I might be able to see, it says U1, U2 are bad, U18 is bad. Doom, doom, doom. I'm actually going to pay a little bit more attention. Maybe I should write something down. I don't know. Okay. All right, now we're going to, all right, everything's turned off. So now we're going to plug in some of these and see how that makes any sense. All right, I see controller 1 and controller 2. This feels like these should be for the controllers. Just because they have that 9-pin. 2's in the back, right? 2 is in the back? Yeah, I think so. All right. And 1 is in the front. I guess I have to take it apart for the keyboard test, huh? And then I have a feeling this one might be for the cassette. Go from here to here, like a game of Jenga. Not Jenga. I don't know what game this would be like, but sure it's fun figuring out where everything... Uh-oh, is that the right way? Don't look for the key. Nope, that is the right way. If anything, you know, Ryan says, if you got to push too hard, probably doing it wrong. Much better. All right, and then again, here's this keyboard connector. It looks like, where would it go? I see this. Oh, I guess that has to go to the board. Okay, we're going to be taking stuff apart next. Let's do it without taking anything apart right now and see what happens. All right, we're back on the same good screen. Let's pop it on. Let's let that run. Got my notes. I'm going to check things off being good now. I think U1, U2 are going to come back okay. And you know I've got like 364s, I think, that have various problems of turning on, so this should lead to some more nighttime fun, checking those and seeing how they do on the testing. Oh, look at that. Okay. Okay, control port bad. U18 is still bad. Control port. Okay, let's turn it off and let's take this apart. Okay, everything's opened up. Now let's see about putting this in without destroying everything. And I'm going to go ahead and pre-plug it. Yeah, that worked much better that way. Okay. And which way goes which way? That's what would help if you read instructions. Oh, I did give that pin a little bend. There we go. Hopefully I'm not going to break every single thing by doing this. Port 2. Port 1, or controller 1. Now, put the cart back in. Okay, everything's plugged back in. Let's turn this one on. Do I have a good, oh, let me make a better view. There we go. Let's see if I did the, oh, I got enough power. Funny things like that. Got enough power. All right, let's see this run through the testing. Okay, so why did I fit? Oh, the keyboard's bad. Control board's still bad. All right, let's see if I put that in wrong. All right, one more time. Third time's a charm. Everything's going to work this time. All right, still a control board issue. And U18. Everything else looks really good. At this point, I think it's time to check the intranets and take a look at drawings. Okay, U18. I think we're talking about the SID chip, and we are talking about the SID chip at U18. The control port, I am just not familiar with what that even means. So I think at this point, it's a little bit of internet research about that guy coming back bad, and a little bit of research about the control port. Just leave everything right here where it is, and then we come back and give it a try in the future. So let's see how that goes. RTFM. If you don't know what that means, hit the Urban Dictionary, look it up. That's what I probably should have done to begin with. But I did have some time away, RTFM, and as I went through the manual, I saw this. Okay, look above me. I got the little bit that's here on my phone, that with older PCBs, that you can get this false positive of the control port and the U18 each time it runs a test. Supposedly the capacitors at C48 and C93 are the issues here. Now, do I have different values than the 1800 picofarads? I don't know. But we're going to take a look. But that does make me feel better. That in reality, everything may be okay. It's just this older PCB is having issues. And how cool is it? That's like a manual from 1992. And of course this board, well here, let's look at this. This board is 1983. So 1992, 1983 would be considered old. So that's maybe why we just keep failing every time. But let's see what we can find. I know, what did I just say? I just talked about what capacitors they were that I need to look for. Let me look real quick. Capacitor C48 and C93. Let's see if I can see those. I wonder if this little guy helps out a little bit. Let's see, does that help a little bit? Does that little guy help? Well, it definitely makes a little halo. All right. C48 and C93. There's C93 and C48. Yeah, right down there at the bottom. They're just some ceramic capacitors, which obviously I can't tell if they're bad. Whereas these other guys, you can, you'll see swelling, or, the end will pop. In this case, those are ceramic capacitors. Let's see if I can read it. It's supposed to be 1800. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. I gotta get a little headshot in here. What do we got on that? That is I can read one of them. The other one has nothing on it. The C93 is not labeled. The C48 182K maybe. 182 is 1800 microfarads. That's 18 and then 10 to the power of 2. So one of them's right. The other one's not labeled. So I can't tell if it's right. Let's turn everything back on again. All right, let's let it run through its test here. I really don't want to just take those off and put new ones on, but I may need to, just to have it be okay. Maybe it's the one, but why would both fail? But if one of them's wrong and the other one's right, maybe that's why. Let's see. All right, here we are again. Control port's bad. It doesn't say which one. It just says bad and then U18. This fits right along with what the manual was talking about. I think at this point, based upon some other reading on the internets, I need to hook this all back up and test some paddles, test some joysticks, and see if those operate properly on this unit. Well, let's do that. I think we used the Centipede cartridge to see what happens. That's the one that came with it when it made its way over here. Oh my gosh, there's Kickman though. Gosh. Okay, we're going to do Centipede. But I have great memories playing Kickman. Oh, there it goes. That looks a little bit better. I'm going to do F3 for 2 players. No. All right, 2 players. And let's go. All right, so I'm moving left, right, up, down, fire. Yeah. This port's working just fine. Let's die. Does that mean now this joystick? Oh, it's a shared joystick. You just would hand it off to your friend, you'd hand it off to your sibling, and then they would play. So I do think I then need to find something that lets me double check. There we go. Port 1 instead of just having port 2 tested. I wonder what that would be. All right, I think I need to go get my Raspberry Pi 1541, and that'll let me pick from a lot of different games, and maybe I can get one that's a 2-paddle game or a 2-joystick game, and then maybe bring up Arachnoid and try doing a paddle game. We'll see. Let's see what I can find. Okay, thanks to Bill Pelton. You know, you could make your own Raspberry Pi 1541, or you can just buy one from someone else. And that is what I did. Here we go, ready to run? Okay, I think we should be 2-player on this. All right, Karate Champ option menu. White player is human. Red player is computer. I want to change that. Oh, geez. F1, switch, okay, quit. Hit spacebar for options. Human. Let's go. Enter. Human. Gosh, these colors are so whacked out. Does that look better to everybody? I hope it does. Okay. Human. Matches 3. All right. Start game. Press spacebar. Start game. All right. So I should be able to test both joysticks right now. Let's see how we do. Okay, forward, backwards, up, down, button, okay. Forwards, backwards, up, down, button. All right, let me go kick his butt a little bit. Bam! Bam! Oh, right in the gut! That's my point. All right, let's do another one. Oh, geez, my joystick fell. Glad that didn't kick my butt while it fell. Here, oh, right, punch in the gut. Okay, one more. One more, I swear, one more and we're done. We're moving on. Can I jump? Jump. Oh, jump in the head. There we go. Okay, joysticks are fine. We're going to turn that off. Let's unplug these. You know, I've always heard the rumor, or people have said, smarter people than me, don't unplug and replug your controllers while your C64 is on. But I saw someone do it just the other day where they were doing that. Let me set these to the side. All right, I have no idea if this is going to work. I've got some paddles. I've got a connector. I don't know. But if I get this to work just a little bit, I'm just going to say we're in good shape. Let's plug that in, port 2. Let's turn that on. Now let's look and see if we have Arachnoid. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, how do I get some sweet Commodore gear? I'm on the C64 Facebook page, and there is some great stuff happening all the time. I just referenced Bill Pelton. He sells some great stuff. I've picked up quite a few things from him here and there, along with this Raspberry Pi 1541. All right, we're back. Time to hit run. Skip? Yeah, sure. Those sweet arachnoid tunes. Oh, yeah, it works. My controller's a little janky. I'm not too sure it's this guy's fault or whether it's the fault of my it might be the Commodore. I think there's more to research here. Oh, I think there's more to check out. This is not looking good. Oh, player 2? Yeah, that's not looking good. Okay, good news, bad news, bad news, bad news. Good news is, I tested the paddle on the C64 and it was really jittery. So my control port error, is it really there or was it my paddle? So I went and hooked up the Atari and sure enough, it's all janky on the Atari also. Just so we get a quick view of that, let me show you what I'm looking at. Let's let this load up. You can kind of see as I'm moving the controller, it's all janky everywhere. So let's kind of watch this. See how it's not smooth. It's kind of here and it's there, hard to control. So I was a little worried about whether this was an issue with the Commodore 64 having a problem on that control port, but it looks like it might be the paddle. The bad news is my Kaboom cartridge doesn't work. I had to use another cartridge on my Atari, so I now have a Kaboom cartridge that doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. Need to look into that. The other bad news, you notice this isn't my right monitor. The 1702, well, it went home. It died. It just powers on, no video image at all. Don't know what that is, but obviously I now have more material for another video. So I'll have to take that apart, figure out what's going on inside, and see what the issues are. But currently, I did hook up a little bit of a janky world here, and I got it on a monitor. As you see, it's black and white. I'm going to turn this off, and I think what I want to do is take this paddle apart and see if we can kind of bring it back to where maybe it operates a little better. I did notice tonight that it is not as janky as it was to begin with after me playing with it a few times. So maybe a little BW100 or what is that? BW100. A little bit of that in there, contact cleaner. Maybe we can get this paddle back working right. Got it marked so I remember which one's which, but let's do that now. Let's grab a screwdriver. I've never taken one of these apart. I have no idea what I'm going to get into. Hopefully everything doesn't just pop out like a crazy mess. Nope, it doesn't. Well, what do we got here? We got a paddle that spins around. How does that show up? We got a paddle that spins around. You can see that. We have a couple leads. Everything looks soldered well. We got a push button. That looks really good. I think I'm just going to spray it and let's see what happens. A little towel here. Whoa, what was that? Huh. Little piece of black something spun out of there. Just kind of work that in. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. If you're an Atari person and you know how to fix paddles, get in my DMs. Let me know. I don't know if that feels better. I hope it does. All right, well, that's the extent of my troubleshooting. How's that feel? Ooh, ooh, I definitely feel a much better glide, a lot more resistance in the other one. And buttons are buttons. All right, set to the side, move that to the side, plug this back in. Hopefully I'm in the right port. And let's turn things back on. All right, I hope this works. I really want that control port to be just fine. I really want the SID chip to be just fine. I really want the TSAC64 to be a stellar unit. Wish me luck. Let's see what happens. And again, the paddle could still just be trash, but let's see. Oh, that moves perfect now. So unlike having an issue with the control port, joysticks work, paddles work, obviously SID's working. And again, we're in black and white because I got this really hodgepodge set up currently. Oh, I got this. Oh, I'm terrible at this game. But I am super stoked. Things are looking good. Okay, what a great looking unit. The TSAC64 is failing on the diag test on the controller port in the SID chip, but all the functionalities of the control port are working properly. So I think I'm going to have to go to the internets. I'm going to go to the Facebook, the VCF groups, probably post a few pictures about this and see other people's their ideas, things that they've seen, look at their knowledge and just kind of make sure our little guy here is operating just fine. But I think off camera, I'm just going to kind of wipe things down and get this guy ready to go back in his box. And you know what? We have a lot more C64s to try out and see what's wrong with them. Maybe I got some donor chips in here that'll help test and figure out about the other units. We'll see. Otherwise, thanks for joining me. Hope you all had a good time and see you soon.